Hey, you're listening to Smoke Meat Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Pittman. Smoke Meat's brought to you by Joe's Underground at the corner of 8th and Broad in Augusta, Georgia, in the bottom of the Lamar building. Man, Joe's is such a great place to go. They treat you like family every time you go in. No matter what mood you're in, you go in, you meet some new friends, you hang out with your old ones, you have a drink, you always come out feeling better from Joe's. Jeremy and the gang know how to hook you up and make you feel so much better than you did when you walked in. You got great food, great people, great drinks, live entertainment sometimes. Just such a wonderful place to go. I goes to Joe's and so should you. That's Joe's Underground, the corner of 8th and Broad in the bottom of the Lamar building in Augusta, Georgia. Today, my guest is Mr. Ernie O'Donnell. For those of you who have been under a rock for the last million years, he has been in most of the View Askew universe pictures. I was in Clerks, Chasing Amy, you name it. Grew up knowing Kevin Smith and been friends with him. And I picked his brain a lot today about Kevin and about the movies, and always been a big fan. So we're going to get this beast kicked off right here on Smoked Meat. Hey, so how you doing today, Ernie?
I'm good, Brad. Things are good here in New Jersey. A little hot, middle of a heat wave, but ain't no thing. It's
Yeah,
all good.
yeah. It's July. It's going to be hot. I just hate the humidity, man. It's killing me. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
humidity is the worst, and this last couple weeks, it's been we've had some good humid days. Today's the first day we had a little bit of a breeze, which made it manageable. But us guys in the trades and everybody out there working outside, it's a little tough, but you grin and bear it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah. I
know,
know that our front AC went out on the ambulance the other night. We had to swap into another one just because there was no way to ride in that thing.
yeah.
Uh,
AC is a blessing from the Lord.
it is, and it tickles me. You see all these guys with the beards and everything, the wannabe operators. 'Cause I know
Yeah,
some real operators, and a lot of them you'll never know what they are. But trying to be so tough, I tell you, the toughest person in the world was Laura Ingalls. I mean, she lived without AC. She had every disease known to man coming at her. Didn't know where the next meal was coming from unless they killed it
yeah,
right then. That chick was harder than trigonometry, man.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
You got that right.
yeah. Oh man, well, like I told you, I usually fanboy out for a few minutes, and dude, you're
Sure.
you're you're no exception. I mean, you are probably what? How should I put this? You're a part of the glue that holds the View Askew verse together.
Um, I'd say well, I'm a part. Yeah, I'm one of the components that help hold the VSQ universe together on different levels. I mean, there's a lot of different people
Oh yeah,
that do that to make this machine run. But I am one of those components, and but I'm not the only one. There are a lot of other
oh
people
yeah,
behind the scenes that keep the VSQ universe running, and like Kevin is very appreciative of everybody that keeps it going, especially the fan base, because as you know, without them, there ain't nothing.
yeah. And just I look over the movies, and I've seen every one of them, and I've got most of them. I've got a few I still have to get on DVD, but I mean, he's so it's funny. He's kind of yin and yang on his own. A lot of the things are the same in him, but a lot of the things are different. But all of them work together. It's just so great. I mean, you
Yeah,
go
oh,
go
definitely.
from
He's got like a thread of his running through all of it.
yeah,
Well, everything that he does has that Kevin Smith thread running through it,
yeah,
and I think that's what the fans dig, and he knows it. He gives them what they want. It ain't all about dick and fart jokes, even though that's probably his bread and butter. But I mean, he's a great writer. I mean, he's been an excellent writer, since I met him, in the fifth grade. So he's just very talented, a great wordsman.
yeah. And his stories and all. Just I I love it because he writes for us. I mean,
Oh
look at
yeah,
Clerks. I mean, Clerks was the first thing, and it was a dream. I mean, and it's two guys in a damn convenience store. But it's one of my favorite movies in the world. I found out not too long ago that my partner on the ambulance had not seen it, which he's a kid. And I had a fit. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to work. We got to fix this now. And I was so excited when I talked to Marilyn about Clerks 3 that it was coming, or, getting written and everything. And, oh man, just, and the fact that he made that, he sold his comic book collection and maxed out credit cards. That's the inspiration for the videos that I do. My little YouTube videos.
Right.
Because it shows me you don't have to have $25 million to make a movie. It makes it really nice when you do.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody out there has an extra $25 million laying around that they just want to get rid of, I'll be happy to film something.
You got that right.
But he shows us not all the money.
It's an inspiring story for a lot of different people, and the fact that it's held weight and it's held on for over 25 years now, and it is still to this day inspiring people, and people are still discovering the movie Clerks, is just amazing. It's mind-boggling. I would have never expected it. I don't think Kevin expected it, but he tapped into something that just, was unbelievable. It was. I mean, he got it at the right moment, and a whole, generation of people dug it, and and they're still following him, and their kids are following him, and it's pretty cool. How could you not, enjoy it?
Exactly. I mean, I love it. And one thing that surprised me during the Baby Shark stuff was that Jeff Anderson did not come out with a thing doing Salsa Shark. Oh, I'm going to kill myself now because I just got that song stuck in my head. But I think Salsa Shark would have been a better song than Baby Shark.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, I've known Jeff since, high school, and Jeff's a great dude. But he's not the kind of guy to capitalize on all that kind of stuff. I mean, he does his job, and then he goes and lives his life, and he gets the call, he comes and he does it, and he walks away.
Yeah.
He never wanted to be that big movie star actor or whatever. I mean, he's a very talented guy. He's a great writer. He does a lot of voiceover work. But he likes his home life, and I give him credit.
Yeah.
But he's very talented, though. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and another common thread that I've got in this thing is, once you're a part of this universe, you're in. I mean, he's very loyal to the people that he loves, and you can tell that in the movies because, I mean, so many people. I mean, look how many of the movies you're in, and he loves you. Because I mean, man, everything from Clerks to the reboot, and you even got Cop Out.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
yeah.
Well, Cop Out was. We were playing poker one night at the stash, and we have breaks every so often between the tournaments, and he took me outside, and we were hanging out, and that's when he was still smoking, like real cigarettes, and he was like, "I gotta tell you something, dude." He goes, "I got this gig I might be doing. I didn't write it, but they want me to direct it, and it was called A Couple of Dicks, which they turned into Cop Out." And he said it's really funny, but it's with Bruce Willis, and I've told the story before, but everybody knows that me and Kevin were huge Bruce Willis fans, and he just said, before I could even open my mouth, he's like, "You're going to be in it," and
Nice.
I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't know where, how, when, but we'll get you in there," because he knows that I was a huge Bruce Willis fan.
Oh yeah.
And he got me in there, and he got me, lines with him, and the scene with him, and like I said, he doesn't forget. I mean, like I said before, sometimes it's hard to get him for certain things, but in the back of his mind, it's always there, and when that moment comes, he remembers, and It's good. I mean, he doesn't remember everything. I'll get, I ain't gonna lie. He's tough. But something like that, I would have been pretty upset if I didn't get in that movie
Oh,
because
oh yeah.
he knows how much of a fan I was with him. And then same with DMC from Run DMC when he did Comic Book Men.
Mm-hmm.
When he booked him and he told me he was coming down, he called me on the phone. He's like, "Dude, if you're working, you got to get down here." He's like, "DMC is going to be here," and me and him are huge into hip hop and old school rap, and I still am. But it's just those little things. He doesn't he doesn't forget those things that you think he would. Um, but that's what's great about it.
Yeah, and I love the fact, a lot of people, whenever they start getting famous or getting a little bit of notoriety, like I say, they forget where they come from. They sit here in the now and they're into the ego and all the fake stuff, and all that's fleeting. But like I say, you've known a man since fifth grade, and he remembers that, and you know, he knows you love Bruce Willis. He knows you love rap, and he
Yeah,
remembers that, and that goes so far with me because he's a person. He's not this guy up here on a pedestal. He is one of us.
yeah, and there's a flip side to that too because you know over the years I've seen people come and go, and really what it comes down to is loyalty to a degree. I mean,
Mm,
and you got to be honest and do what you say you're going to do and do the right thing,
yeah,
and not be there for the wrong reasons. I mean, I've been there since the beginning, and uh, it's it's just that you gotta, you know, he knows that he can rely on me for anything. If he
yeah,
calls me for something, he knows that I'm gonna make sure it gets done, uh, and that's a good feeling because like I said, we've been friends for over 40 years now, so it's it's something that I hold dear to myself, and we've had our ups and downs over the years, just like any good friendship does. We're
oh
kind of
yeah,
like real brothers, so it's kind of you're going to have those battles, and we've gotten through all those battles, and we're still here, and we're still doing movies together, and we're still playing dress up, and still doing make believe, and it's actually pretty cool this far along, and we're still doing stuff like that and still creating. And he's inspired me to go out and direct and write and produce and do all that kind of stuff. Because I just I'm not saying that I'm lazy, but it's just I was um, I was too consumed with taking care of my home life, which is very important. You got to take care of your house, you got to take care of your wife. You got bills to pay. You got to those things are extremely important. But there's also the things that make you really happy.
yeah,
And being in the entertainment industry on any level makes me happy. And uh, I would watch him just at all, when he would have these shows and do these things, and he'd keep telling people and just go out and do something. Just do something. Always do something. Create something, no matter what it is. And he'd say to me, "Ernie, when are you gonna do something? When are you gonna do something?" And I was like, "Oh, I ain't got time, man. There's not time." And finally, I just, I got to that point where I was like, "Screw it, I got to do something." So, I did a short. I wrote and directed a short, and I'm doing an animated series. I did some horror movies, some other production stuff. So I got my hands on a lot of different stuff, and you know, I'm happy because now I'm at the end of my, uh, contractor carpentry years, and now I'm moving more into the entertainment production stuff. So I give him a lot of credit for that.
yeah, yeah. I know you did 100 acres of hell,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
that's pretty damn cool.
yeah. That was a great movie. That was a friend of mine that I went to high school with. Um, we didn't hang out much, but we knew of each other. My buddy Jason Kerner, and
Uh,
he reached out to me on Facebook one day and asked if I'd be interested in playing one of the roles. And I said, well, of course, let me read the script. I read the script, and I thought it was pretty cool. And then we started having some meetings, and they brought me on as a co-producer, and then they bumped me up to a producer, and then I became an investor. So it really snowballed, and I really got, dug in and got involved in that film, and that was really my first, you know, time ever doing a motion, like a full-length feature motion picture, as a producer.
Yeah.
And we had a blast, man. I mean, most people out there know the independent film community is, as tough as nails. They have to be, because they have no money. None of us have the money that the studios have. We don't have a big bankroll that everybody else has. So, I mean, there's like two different types of independent filmmakers. There's the ultra low budget
That would be
independent
me.
filmmaker that a lot of us are, which I am at the moment. Uh, and then there's the other independent filmmakers, that are spending $2, $3, $4, $6 million on a movie, and it's still considered independent.
Yeah.
Which is because it's not, through the big studio.
Yeah.
But it's tough, man. But I tell you what, I love it. I do it every single day, if I could, and I wouldn't complain once, because, as you know, once you do a real job, 10, 12, 16 hours a day, and that's work. Real work, is work.
Yeah.
So when you're on a set doing, making movie and making make believe, I don't find that to be too difficult when you've come out of the blue collar, world.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a relief. But not to discredit the crews on films and the sets, because the crew guys, the lighting guys, the set builders, the gaffers, all those guys they work their asses off.
Yeah, I mean, you can go from a place that's got nothing on it, all of a sudden you got a whole set built. You got.
Oh yeah, those guys are unbelievable.
Yeah.
And those guys work. But that's their job. It's just like you or me. Their profession is building sets, and they work hard. My profession is I'm a carpenter. I build houses. I remodel kitchens. All that kind of stuff. So you do your thing, and it's hard work. Everybody works hard, but when you get a chance to do that dream job that you want to do, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
So, and you got to have the fire. You got to have that passion too, or else it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't like to think. I believe that I'm the one that's actually responsible for COVID. And hear me out now.
Okay.
Right before this, I've got a friend who we've been friends for about 10 or 15 years. We've met through comedy, because I do stand up also.
Oh, look at you! I love it.
And we've never been like come to the house for dinner friends or stay in touch constantly friends. We're just we see each other somewhere, we gravitate toward each other, we talk and we hang out.
Right.
And right before COVID started, he sent me a couple of sides for a pilot. And I'm like, okay, and you want me to do what? He said, I want you to film these. You need to audition for these 2 parts. I'm like, well, hell yeah, I'll do it. I've never done TV or anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So I filmed my parts. And one of them, it is me, period. I won't even have to act. I'll just have to change my voice a little bit. And I sent them in, and right after that, COVID hit and filming shut down in Georgia, so nothing's been cast. So I like to think that I actually was going to get that role, and I caused a worldwide pandemic because of it.
You were the catalyst for everything.
I am. You're welcome.
Oh, you suck.
Oh, man. Man, oh, man.
So you're down in Georgia. So, you're a stand-up comic, which I think is great. I did it once at a roast for Brian O'Halloran, and I found it to be one of the most difficult things ever to do, because I wanted to write my own stuff.
Oh, that's the fun part.
No, I know, but it just, you always second guess yourself. You don't know if it's funny. You write it and you're like, oh, I think that's funny. But you don't know until you actually say it in front of a live audience. And of course, it's the way you project it and perform it or say it. However, are you going to be animated? Or are you going to do this? I mean, and you got to feed off the crowd. So I was really nervous when I did it. But I give comics all the credit in the world too. I mean, if they get out there and do that stuff, because it's tough.
Oh,
I mean, it really is tough.
it's a booger. It's so much fun, and everybody bombs. I mean, Chris Rock, Howie Mandel, everybody. Anybody that says that they've never bombed has either never been on stage or is lying through their teeth.
Oh God, yeah.
And that's the fun part of doing it. Not bombing, but you writing stuff and you work it out and you rehearse it and you get ready for the show and you get up there and you're making a room full of strangers have the same involuntary response that you want them to have at the same time just by talking.
Right.
And that is so cool. But when you bomb, holy crap. Oh man, we've got a club here in Atlanta called the Laughing Skull.
Right.
And I'll go there once in a while, and I don't have a middle of the road there. I either do really, really, really great, or I bomb like hell. And then last time I went there, oh man, there were about a dozen of us. I was actually doing open mic, and you have to get booked to do the open mic there, which is cool. I got it. And I was in the middle of the order. I'm like, okay, I can live with this. I hate being in the middle, but whatever. So the first guy gets up there, crickets. Second or third guy, crickets. And there's this guy sitting in the middle of the front row who's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt and a pair of cargo shorts. And
Okay.
everybody's ragging on him because he's sitting there with his arms crossed, just looking mad to be there. And I got up and first thing I said, and I deserved to bomb that night because one, I wrote my material on the way to the show.
Oh boy.
I totally disrespected my craft, and when the video came, I actually posted the video just to prove, okay, I disrespected my craft, and here's what happens. But I got on stage, and the first thing I did was look down at the guy, pointed at his shorts, and said, "Your balls are showing." And yeah, not my finest moment, but it went downhill from there. And this guy, I found out why he was so mad was the last person to be on was the CEO of this large company, and it was pretty much a corporate event because all of his upper management had been voluntold to be there, and that was the entire room.
Oh.
Because he hit big, none of us did, and I'm like, oh crap, here we go. But we didn't know that until then. So
Right. They didn't tell you.
yeah, so I ate shit hard that night, but it was fun still. I still feel bad for telling that guy his balls were showing, but yeah. He could have at least
Yeah.
grinned, not crossed his arm or something. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun getting picked on. I was at a show with Levy, um,
Bob Levy?
Bob Levy, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it was him and it was Shuley from the Howard. These guys are, it's like a Howard Stern type of show. The comics were on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But me and my nephew showed up. We were in the front row, but we showed up not knowingly. He had like a similar shirt on, like he was during the winter, like a flannel, and they were almost identical. And at this point, because we showed up at the place separately, and I was like, "Oh man!" I said, "We're sitting in the front row, and that's all. That was it. Everybody just ate us up, you know." But it's good. It's supposed to be fun like that. I mean, it's good when you get picked on.
Yeah.
But
That's
you know, and most comics are quick-witted too.
yeah.
That's a sign of a good comic, who's quick-witted and goes off the cuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that can just start making people laugh. Away from his regular material.
Yeah.
That's so much talent in there to really be that quick.
Yeah, and when it's going right, it's funny. I get in a zone. I've just started doing this before COVID hit, where I'll kind of get in a little zone where I actually don't hear laughter. I just get so deep into it, but I can see everybody laughing. They're having a good time, and when I watch the video, of course I hear it, but I just kind of get in that little pocket like a drummer and just do my thing, and it works.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I realized, like I said, I did the roast for Brian O'Halloran, and my buddy Chris, who's a comic, he's a professional. I asked him at the end. I said, "How was it?" He said, "Oh, dude, you were good." He said, "It was funny." He's like, you're a natural. Like you were a natural." And I was like, "Oh." And I found myself as I'm up there, I was like, I am way too fast. I'm fast, you know. I was like, bing, bing. All the jokes are like, spitfire, like coming out.
Yeah.
I didn't let it, you know, I wanted to do it where it was slower, but I guess it's the first time I did it and my adrenaline was going and people were laughing and I just kept hitting them and hitting them and hitting them and going.
Oh yeah.
And my set was the fastest of everybody's, you know, which I guess is good, hit them and quit them. But it's, if I ever did it again, I would have to figure out a way to, find that, like you said, that zone and just kind of feel confident about myself and to do it. But I find it to be really, really difficult. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
enjoyed it, but it was definitely difficult.
Yeah, it's rough, but like I say, that's the best feeling in the world when you realize, and you don't realize till it's almost done that you don't hear anything, and it's
Yeah,
not
and
because nobody's sitting there laughing. It's just because you're
well,
in that little place, and it feels
right.
so good. But you got balls for getting up there and doing it. That's the
Oh
awesome
God,
part.
yeah. Everybody, like I say, give him credit. But it's weird because I was at a show. I won't mention the comic's name, but he's a well-known professional comic, and we were at a show in Newark, and I drove up there, and unfortunately, it was the weekend of the Super Bowl. It was like, uh, let's say it was Friday night, Super Bowl Sunday,
Hmm.
and my buddy says, "Oh, come on up, let's go to the show." I said, "Yeah, he's good, man. He's a great comic." Brad, we get up there. There is no more than five people inside,
Oh hell.
and then I think before the guy hit the stage, and he had an opening act, but before he hit the stage, I think the total was 8 people,
Ooh.
and the room was pretty big,
Mm.
and I just felt so bad. But he, true professional, he adjusted and did his set. I mean, it was funny. I found him funny as shit, but it's just amazing how they just go right through it, you know.
Well,
And
you've got to, and the neat thing about doing a room that's a small room or even a room where like that where hardly anybody came is in a great big room. Person on either side of you laughs. It's kind of infectious. Boom, everybody's laughing.
right.
In a small room like that, you earn your laughs, hard earned laughs on those.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was funny. The people, like I said, the 8, 10 people, whatever that were there, were laughing.
Yeah,
But the room probably held, I don't know, oh my God, close to 150.
yeah, yeah. And
And
those
it was like,
rooms, like I say, you gotta bring it, and it feels so good. It's so hard to play those rooms. You get out there, and your ego says, "I've got 8 people, really." But then when you
man.
make those 8 people laugh, and you're doing it right,
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I'm
man.
saying. It's talent, man. It's like, that's one of the hardest jobs is being a stand-up comic. Yeah, like I said, I admire those guys. It's a lot, and they
Yeah.
don't get most of them guys don't get the dues that they deserve.
Oh yeah.
And
I've been doing it 30 years, and I've actually gotten paid once.
oh, you say once?
Yeah, once. Oh yeah. And the night of that show, if Kevin needs any ideas ever, oh that if I'll put it to you this way: if that night was a movie, Ben Stiller would be starring in it. It was that kind of night.
Right.
It was in Savannah at a strip club in the back of a strip mall.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that should say it all right there.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
amazing, though. I had a blast. Oh my God. It was my
It
birthday.
sounds like it.
Oh, it was just, man. But
Well,
yeah, it would make an awesome movie.
yeah, we need original movies out there. We definitely need them
Oh yeah.
because they keep recycling the same old shit out there, and it's kind of getting tiresome. It's good to see a nice fresh movie when it comes out.
Yeah, there's only really one reboot that I really like. And you know what I'm about to say. It's Jan
Okay.
Silent Bob reboot.
Yeah, yeah.
But that
Nothing wrong
actually
with that.
was really good. And
Yeah, that was an interesting when he sent me the script originally, uh, way back. Uh, that's when Stan Lee was actually in it, playing. Kevis told in interviews before that Stan Lee was in it, and he wrote a part for him, and he had to, obviously Stan died unfortunately,
yeah,
so he had to rework the script. But I found it to be funny. It was really funny.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Now I tell you, as funny as many funny movies as he made, I think one of my favorite movies he's done was Red State
Say
because
again, Brad?
I think one of my favorite movies he's done. As much as I love comedy and as many funny movies as he's done was Red State. It caught me
Oh,
so off guard.
I love Red State.
Man,
I think Red State's one of his best.
yeah, it is. It's just amazing. You
Yeah,
know.
I wish I wish he would get more into that type of filming, because I thought he did really really well with that, and he's because it's kind of like a horror thriller. Red State, I consider that a horror thriller like movie,
Yeah.
but he is tapping into a little bit more with Kilroy was here,
Hmm.
which is coming out. Hopefully, we're hoping maybe by the end of the year, if not the beginning of next year. But I know he just announced that he's going to be doing a small preview, like a little trailer at San Diego Comic-Con, the panel that he's doing, the virtual panels that they're doing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that because I play two roles in that movie.
Nice.
I play a pedophile priest and a good priest.
Ah,
Yeah, so
sweet. Yeah.
should be interesting.
Just his range just tickles me. Like I say, Red State caught me so off guard, and then when I saw everybody that was in it, I'm like, really? He landed all these people? That's just damn.
Oh, it's a great cast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you know, working with like Kevin Pollock, who was awesome. I mean, John Goodman and
Hmm.
um, God, no, Michael Parks. I'll tell you what,
Oh man, he
I
was.
just I just sat there on set in pretty much in amazement watching him.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even have to be there on set certain times, and I would just stay just to watch, because it's like taking a master class when you watch that guy operate.
Yeah. He was just man. I
Um,
think one of my favorite things that Kevin Pollak has ever done, aside from some of his movies, have you ever heard him do his Christopher Walken impression?
oh yeah,
Oh
oh
man,
yeah.
he kills me with that. Because everybody thinks they can imitate Walken. I think I can, but I do the worst one in the world. Walken would probably walk up and punch me in the eye
Eh,
with my own fist.
there you go.
But his is so awesome. And just the stuff he says, when he tells the story about, him being ditched at the party and, walking and getting a ride home with him, and he pushes the button to start his car, looks at his car and said, "Chase me." That just tickles me.
Kevin Pollock, he's another one that's extremely talented that doesn't really get you know, enough props that he should. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been doing it a long, and his variety of roles he's played in his film history is just amazing. I mean, he's really really talented.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
definitely.
Kevin seems to tap into a lot of those guys. He had him come back for Cop Out and Red State, and he he seems to use those people a lot, and they always love working for him.
Mhm.
You can't always get them because depending on the schedule, but I mean, in Reboot, my God, he had everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved
And
Reboot.
Affleck was a last minute ad.
Mhm.
That was last minute. That wasn't pre-planned.
Yeah, his relationship with Affleck tickles me, man, because they just go back and forth so much, and it's great.
Yeah, I mean they're back. I mean they're back now, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I was talking to Kev the other day about Batman and Affleck signing on for to do the Justice League through HBO Max and all that kind of stuff, and I was pretty stoked about that because I actually like Affleck as Bruce Wayne. I thought he was really good.
Mhm.
Obviously, my favorite is I'm a Keaton guy, Um, so I was really happy to see that Keaton is in negotiations right now to come back to play the older Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Through the Flash universe, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's interesting. The the uh, the array of people that he's worked with. I mean, it's a pretty impressive list.
Yeah, most definitely. And you know how I can tell I'm getting older. My favorite Batman will always be Adam West.
Adam West. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
No, Adam West was great.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I grew up watching those, and man, it just oh
God, we all watched them. I mean, I remember watching them as a kid too. I mean, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. That and watching, the Superman.
hmm
Um, I mean, it was great. That and then what else was? Oh, the Incredible Hulk.
mm
Ferrigno.
Oh, dude, that was my Friday night. The Dukes of
Yeah.
Hazzard, the Hulk, and Dallas.
Yes, me too, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Good news, good news.
Oh
Get a
yeah.
flash.
Right here in front of my laptop in the studio, I've
Right.
got an autographed picture from Sonny Schroyer. I got to interview him, the guy that played Enos,
Yeah.
and he's over 80 years old now, and he is so awesome.
Wow.
And I actually still talk to him some just to check on him and everything, and we'll talk back and forth. And I called him one day to I'd sent him something. I wanted to make sure he got it, and I had some strokes a couple of years ago, and it gave me a stutter that comes back. And unfortunately, I had the stutter going on, and it tickled him so good. He asked me, he said, "Are you hurting right now?" I said, "No, I'm fine. This just comes back and aggravates me." He said, "Well,
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I love it because I'm old and hard of hearing, and because you're having to repeat things, I can understand you perfectly." I'm like, well, damn, okay, silver lining, I can dig it.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love that show so much. I was in the Dukes of Hazzard fan club. I mean, I would send letters and they'd send photos, and I'd get autographs and things, and it was just something about that show. I don't know if it was the car or Catherine Bach, Daisy Duke. I don't know what it was,
Mhm.
but that show, man, I just gravitated towards that.
It
It
was
was
just
great.
kind of that perfect storm,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you, because you can't put your finger on one little thing of it is what makes it so great because it was just a big stew.
yeah. Now that I'm thinking, it's probably because I was also a big fan of Burt Reynolds and Smokey and the Bandit.
hmm
And then kind of the generally, not that it would never be the Trans Am of the Bandit, but uh, it kind of they used to jump a lot of stuff, and anything with cars and things like that because I like Evil Knievel too and all that kind of those things when we grew up.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
that's good stuff.
so you're a Smokey and the Bandit fan.
Yeah.
You're about to have a fit. I'm about to motivate you to come to Georgia, and if you do, I will feed you. But I live in the area where everywhere around me in about a 30-mile radius is where that was filmed.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh yes.
Mm. Wow.
So I've
That
seen
is
it a lot of locations, and this is pretty neat because I'm a die-hard fan. I can recite this movie. And I actually did. It took me, and I'm ashamed to say, it took me about 3 years to find out the recipe for a Diablo sandwich. Oh yes,
wow. I mean, it's just such a classic movie.
yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong with it. I mean, Bert's just, I mean, awesome, and Jackie Gleason. My goodness. I
You know,
mean, I'm also a huge Honeymooners fan. So
most of Jackie Gleason's stuff was improv.
yeah, yeah, no, I know.
It's like, damn,
Yeah,
he's a genius.
so good.
Oh yeah, but yeah, you
Yep.
get down to Georgia, get here near Atlanta. I'll take you around, and we'll do the Smoking the Bandit thing.
Yeah, I'd love to. I got to get down there. My entertainment lawyer is down in Atlanta,
Oh, okay, like I said,
so I got to get there.
I'm very close to Atlanta. I'm 20 miles south in Fayetteville. So
Yeah. So how far? I mean, have you ever gone down to the Walking Dead set or anything like that?
you're gonna love this. When we
Uh,
we moved up here about 4.5, 5 years ago from Augusta, And I decided I didn't want to be in medicine anymore. I'd had the strokes and I couldn't be on an ambulance right then. And of course, the name of the show is Smoked Meat. I love cooking.
Right.
And Greg Nicotero and Norman Reedus own a restaurant in Sonoya. It's called Nick and Norman's. And I actually worked there when I first moved up here. You could open our back door and see the set. You could hit it with a rock.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Alexandria is in downtown Sonoya.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. They've got a museum there. It's actually got Daryl's first motorcycle in it, all kind of stuff.
So wait, is that the restaurant? Because I watched something with Norman Reedus, his show. I think it's called Ride.
Mm-hmm.
That they went back to a restaurant bar in Georgia, and I think it was his bar, his and Nick's.
Maybe it.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. I mean, that's another show I follow really well. I mean, love to be on it. My God, but that's like a juggernaut.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
that infused that whole area.
Yeah, it did. I'm in a neat place. I'm in the middle of it. On the other side of my county, I have Pinewood Studios, which is a huge studio, and 20 miles up the road, we have Tyler Perry Studios.
Yeah, that's right. Tyler Perry opened up a huge compound. That studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of great things there.
Yeah.
Georgia's taken off a lot, man. I mean, there's so much production going on down there. That's good stuff. I mean, it's the locations that they have down there. Everything just makes sense. The tax breaks that they give to productions. It's you got to do it. I mean, California's awesome. New York's awesome, but Georgia offers a whole lot out of their stuff, and for a good price. I mean, I wish Jersey's slowly starting to get around to doing that stuff, giving tax incentives, a little bit more breaks for the film industry, which is good. Because they have to. I mean, for a while there, Canada was taking everything.
Yeah.
And then Georgia jumped on and started doing it. And then New Orleans started doing stuff. And so they're getting a lot of cool stuff and getting a lot of tax breaks. That's why Kev shot Reboot down there, because of the tax breaks. I mean, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no way he could have shot that in New Jersey or California.
Yeah, at the end of the day, even though it's, art and it's doing what you love, you got to make money to do the next one.
Yeah, I mean, it's, unfortunately that this business runs by the almighty dollar. I hate to say it, but,
yep.
We all want to be creative and appreciate the arts, but nobody's doing it for free.
That's it, exactly.
I wish they were. I mean, listen, 100 Acres of Hell, we had a lot of people doing stuff for free.
Yeah.
Because in the independent world, people want to get their name out there and get their product out there and show their skills, so they'll do it for free. But once you make that change and go to the next level, then things change. I mean, you got to find money. You got to find those investors and people that can believe in you, that believe in your project, and that are willing to give you $500,000, $2 million, whatever it may be. And that's nothing compared to what they're doing out there. But it's still tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough business.
Hats off to y'all for finding money for the 100 Acres of Hell, because, I mean, shit, I'm having a hard time talking my wife out of a $400 camera.
Well, you can a lot of people rent equipment. I mean, and as you know, most people are, shooting stuff on their iPhones and things like that, which works. I mean, I do a lot of these small little vignettes for the Smod Castle that me and Kevin are opening soon. I have a video guy that comes in to shoot some of the little spots that I do about how we're remodeling the place. But then if he can't make it, I set my phone up on a little, what I do is I don't have a tripod or anything like that. I'm a carpenter, so I take my clamp, I clamp my phone to my ladder, and position it where it's got to be. And I do a test. I'm like, okay, here we go. That's good. And then I do it, and then I'll record, and I'll send it to them, and I'll say, here, add this to the, and edit it the best way you can, and it works.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, sometimes you just got to get creative, but yeah, a great business, but an expensive business.
Oh yeah.
But if you can be creative and persistent, you can get a lot of stuff done
Oh
uh,
yeah.
in this business. And that's where people start to rise above other people.
Yeah.
Once people start noticing, that just goes right back to Kevin. People noticed that this guy spent $27,000 and he made this movie,
Yep.
and it turned into a cult classic. You know, so those are the kind of things that people look for. Who's creative and who's ingenious and who's resourceful, with having almost nothing, but to create something so great.
Yep.
It's tough. I mean, they did it with the Blair Witch Project. They didn't spend a lot of money on that.
Oh no, I can't remember how much they said they spent, but it wasn't nothing. Not especially compared to what it made.
Oh yeah. I mean, the second one wasn't the greatest. I mean, they kind of lost their flavor,
Yeah.
for the second one, but that first one was just amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, I tell you, Ernie, I've had a blast with you on here today. You know, you're welcome on here anytime.
Oh, I appreciate
You
that.
say
Yeah.
save this number. I could do say call and say, Fat Boy, I want to record, and I'm hitting the button.
There you go.
Oh yeah, 'cause I feel like we ain't even scratched the surface.
Yeah. Now there's still a lot more going.
Oh yeah.
You just let me know. I'm always down for you know talking to biz and shooting the shit. I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Like I said, me and Kev got the Smod Castle we're working on. That's going to be our live entertainment, um, you know, black box theater that we're doing in Leonardo, New Jersey, right next to the Quick Stop.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's going to be a great destination for the View Askew fans. We just got to get through this COVID thing so we can get her open.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be a big thing for everybody.
Yeah. Well, we're all gonna get through it. Just stay safe out there, my friend.
I will. I appreciate it.